Dressed in black, caught on a live stream, smashing in windows of an AutoZone. This was in Minneapolis in the middle of protest over the police killing of George Floyd. Remember Umbrella Man? Turns out, Umbrella Man was no protester. That was the beginning of the violence and the lawlessness in Minneapolis. Police now say he's associated with a prison gang, one the Anti-Defamation League identifies as white supremacist.
Get it for me. Get it for me.
They believe that he helped instigate the riots.
No, back up.
And the destruction.
See that thing above it?
Do not fall for the okie doke.
Put your finger on that thing. Above this button.
The Washington Post.
Now move it
Thank
forward.
goodness for them. Did a deep dive into 27 deaths linked to recent protests and found that suspects or perpetrators were almost never protesters. The most recent example, the deaths of 2 protesters in the streets of Kenosha just this week. Social media profiles believed to belong to the suspect, a white 17-year-old, Kyle Rittenhouse, show a teenager with an affinity for guns. A teenager who is pro-police. A teenager who is a supporter of the president. He attended a Trump rally at Drake University in Des Moines, Iowa on January 30th and posted a short video from the front row to his social media. And there are more examples. There's Federal Protective Services officer David Underwood. The president tried to blame his death on May 29th on protesters. Watch.
Sir, in California, an African-American enforcement hero was shot and killed. These are not acts of peaceful protest. These are acts of domestic terror.
Yep. That officer was allegedly shot by an Air Force staff sergeant associated with the so-called Boogaloo movement,
The light off.
which wants to spark a civil war. Italia Kelly was shot on June 1st in Davenport, Iowa, while she was attending a protest. But her family says the alleged shooter had previously made threats against her, and the shooting was apparently unrelated to the protest. Sean Monterosa was shot and killed by police after he was stopped near a protest. That was on June 2nd in Vallejo, California.
Turn off that light.
He was carrying a tool that an officer mistook for a gun. His family has filed suit.
I know.
Garrett Foster was shot and killed by Daniel Perry. Daniel Perry is an Army sergeant on July 25th in Austin. Perry alleges he fired at Foster, who was also armed, in self-defense. But when the president tweeted in June about potential protesters at his rally in Tulsa, Perry replied, "Send them to Texas. We will show them why we say don't mess with Texas." Perry has not been arrested. And on and on and on. The scary America that the president is talking about is happening right now. I'm here. This is reality. I'm speaking to you. Not from the future, but from the now. Right now, it is happening.
Damn.
President Donald J. Trump. Is it really any surprise? Is it? Let me take you down memory lane just for a second. Remember, this is the president who encouraged police to rough up suspects. Play it.
I said, please don't be too nice. Like when you guys put somebody in the car and you're protecting their head, you know, the way you put their hand up. Like, don't hit their head, and they just killed somebody, don't hit their head. I said, you can take the hand away, okay?
Nice. This is a man who, during the last campaign, repeatedly encouraged violence against protesters at his own rallies.
I love the old days. You know what they used to do to guys like that when they were in a place like this? They'd be carried out on a stretcher, folks. The guards are very gentle with him. He's walking out like big high fives, smiling, laughing. Like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you. Knock the crap out of him, would you? Seriously. Okay? Just knock the hell. I promise you, I will pay for the legal fees. Get him out. Try not to hurt him.
I'll do it.
If you do, I'll defend you in court. Don't worry about it. Part of the problem and part of the reason it takes so long is nobody wants to hurt each other anymore. There are no consequences to protesting anymore. There used to be consequences. I would have been out there fighting, folks. I don't know if I would have done well, but I would have been boom, boom, boom up. Beat them.
Oh, shit.
You believe that? Any wonder there's violence? I never heard Barack Obama say anything like that. Peaceful man, classy, presidential. Trump, not so much.
Hillbilly.
But back to this president. He wants you to ignore everything that is happening on his watch. He wants you to believe that it is Joe Biden's America that's scary when in reality, it's Donald Trump's America. Vote for me, and I'll fix everything that's gone wrong on my watch. It would be funny if it weren't so dangerous. Make America great again?
Weird.
He's had almost 4 years. What's he waiting for? In the middle of all this chaos on his watch, the president's stoking more division tonight. Historian John Meacham, I'm going to ask him if he has ever seen anything like this after the break.